DJ Mansuya.
I got guns in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go. I got guns in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go. I got guns in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go.
Okay, I know that people have their own preferences when making their videos, and that's fine with me. It depends on your motivation level and expertise most of the time. You can either start your video with a simple introduction and get right into it, or you may go after other options. One of these options being where the characters that are supposed to react are going about their day and are suddenly teleported randomly to the reaction space. The explanation to how they got there goes from brief to long and drawn-out conversations. Personally, and I mean this is just my opinion, but I usually tend to skip these intros and get right to the reaction part unless they are actually interesting. If you do this, you probably know what I'm referring to. People come to watch your reaction videos, not wait around for you to explain to non-existing characters about something that you already know about. Now this may sound harsh, but I promise you're able to do whatever you want to do in your own reaction videos. As long as you're not doing anything inappropriate that disrespects a character horribly. Alright, now that we've got that out of the way, time to actually make a tutorial on how to edit and whatever. You're able to use either CapCut or KineMaster for this, but it really doesn't matter. I'm going to be using CapCut for this, so sorry for KineMaster users. Most of the time I usually start my projects with a black image because why not? Then I add my intro to introduce my channel properly. If you don't have an intro, it's okay to just write a quick hello and get on with it. Also, if your video contains spoilers for anything, please make sure to add a warning. To start, you're going to want to add your starting screenshot. The normal one before everybody reacts and everything. Please don't forget to add transitions to make it smooth. I'm pretty sure it's only me who does this, but if you'd like you can follow what I'm doing. What I'm doing is that I'm adding a black picture to the scene to make it outline the TikTok I'm going to add. I don't really know why, I just think it makes it look more professional. I also sometimes lower the volume of things that make sound so to avoid copyright, or to make sure it doesn't hurt anyone's ears. Please note that lowering the volume of TikToks doesn't let you avoid copyright all the time, so if you want to monetize your videos you'll have to be very careful about things emitting copyrighted. For forming reactions, this is mostly the part where you get to decide everything. Knowing characters' personalities and how they would react properly is a good skill to have. So if you don't actually have any fundamental knowledge on a character, I suggest that you don't use them in your video. Beforehand I researched characters' relationships with Oboro, who is the guy in the TikTok, to know who would be the greatest affected. Add your screenshots to your video clip. Both CapCut and KineMaster have the similar transition that I'm using, and on CapCut it's listed as mix. I use this transition quite a lot because it makes the reactions flow better.
Are you sure about it?
Since this reaction video is going to be short and not going to add any dialogue, I'm also not going to add any because I think the characters would respond with silence. Although Midoriya might ask a few questions based on his teacher's reactions. Raising eyebrows and making them point inward can be viewed as anxiousness and confusion in some cases, so if you have nothing to change in your character's reactions, I suggest changing their eyebrows position. Alright, so now that you know about whatever I just told you about, I'm going to skip ahead to the part where I've finished editing all the reaction screenshots into CapCut.
I'm living like there's no tomorrow.
At the end you can put your intro if you have one. I don't, so I just put a black screen usually. Once you're done putting everything all together, you can export it. You can end your editing right then and there, but if you'd like some more tips, keep watching. First, make a new project and import the reaction video you just finished. To make it more aesthetic and pleasing to the eye, you can add a filter of your choice. Be careful to not overlay the filter on your intro and outro so to not mess it up.
It reminded me of my dog, Callie. She died when I was 8, and she crawled
Next, you're going to want to add a watermark. This will let people know that you own the video. Add a text layer and type your channel name into it and choose a font.
To be alone.
Make sure to change the opacity so it doesn't overlay anything too harshly. You can either place your watermark in the very center or in one of the corners. I've decided to place it in the very center for this video. If you want a creative watermark with customized text and features, I recommend using a Bespand. For advertising, CapCut and KineMaster Pro have stickers that work perfectly. I'm not going to use them for this video because it's too short, and I prefer to use them on longer videos that I know won't necessarily flop really badly.
To be alone.
You could also use effects from CapCut, although KineMaster doesn't let you use too many without having to pay. For this video, I'm just going to add some glitter for effect. That's about it. Ask any questions you have in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer. The finished product will be posted in a few days, so subscribe to stay tuned for that.